arteries. Okay. Now, sometimes they blow out the vessels and it will get all over on the inside, and sometimes they do a messy job and it's even on the outside, but it's latex. And so we do want to kind of get in so we can see the trachea and the esophagus, maybe even some lymph nodes in here in this area. We're going to go in, and then we're going to go, the sternum's right here, so when we do a cut, we're actually going to go on the side of the sternum because it's easier to cut through the costae than it is the sternum itself. Okay? Once we open it up, we'll kind of get in there, and we're going to take our bone cutters, we're going to put them in so that the flush end is up against the vertebral column, and if this is a rib, you're going to get in as close as you can to the vertebrae and get the rib right at the base and snip it. And you want to do that for all the ribs. This way the chest cavity will just kind of lie open. Okay? And then we're going to just kind of clean up and look for many of the blood vessels that we saw in class. Now, in the cat, they're a little bit different in terms of their names. And I think the arrangement's actually a little bit different as well. So we're probably just going to see lungs, blood vessels of the heart, and that's all we're going to see today. Okay, so let's see how sharp this scalpel is. Now, if you have males actually have really thick skin because of all the testosterone, and you can see how thick his skin is right here. It's really thick. I remember when I used to work in the vet hospital, like sometimes I would stick the needle on the cat, and it's like, I mean, you really had to jab it in for the males, especially if they weren't castrated. Their skin was super thick. So you see I'm opening up the skin, and I want to be careful with the scalpel because a lot of times you can go deep and actually cut the structure, like the trachea. Since we already did muscles, we're not too concerned with the muscles. And it helps a bit just to kind of pull the tissue away as opposed to use a scalpel and to use your blunt probe. Just kind of, you see this webby-like tissue in here? What tissue is that? Areolar connective tissue. Looks like arachnoid, but arachnoid would be in the brain. And we are going in through the neck. And I'm just going to keep kind of making a nice cut all the way down. Very, very lightly. You don't want to go too deep. And I'm just going to kind of go all the way. Here it doesn't matter because you won't get any organs underneath because the costae are stopping you. The very last part of the sternum is called the xiphoid process. Okay, so I can see that I've kind of got in here, and I'm going to get a little bit into the cavity here. I'll make sure that I don't want to go below the sternum today. So let's. So I still haven't even gotten into the abdominal cavity because you do have to go through quite a bit of muscle. A little bit more. Oh, there we go. Okay, I can fill it in now. Okay, so once you get in there, you can kind of feel for the diaphragm. The diaphragm's going to stop your thumb, okay? And you just want to cut along the diaphragm a little bit to kind of start opening it up. It would help if we had some sharper tools, but it might be a little juicy in there. Okay, so I got a little bit of opening going in here. And now I'm going to go ahead. And with these bone cutters, you want to go in and lift up before you cut because you want to try and cut away from the underlying organs. And everything's dull, so it's not going to be the best, but okay. And again, you shouldn't be going through the sternum, you should just be going through the ribs. Now it's going to be sharp here now, so be careful as you go in. Latex and stuff will be coming out. All the little bits and pieces of cat go into the lidded trash can when you're done. Okay, and I can already start to see the pleura. Okay, I can start to see the heart. I can see little bits and pieces of the lungs. I haven't damaged them. Good. Oh, good. Getting in there. Good. Have to go up through the collarbone. I've got quite a bit of muscle I want to get out of the way. So just do little layers at a time. It's better to go slow than fast. And I can start to see the trachea. Oh, there's the trachea. Okay, now let's see, where's my diaphragm? There's my diaphragm, is right here. You can see that muscle right there. And I'm going to kind of go follow where my finger is, stops. I just want to cut along that line just to kind of free up that part. Yeah, very dull scissors. Okay. Sometimes there's a lot of fluid, sometimes there isn't, okay? So this one's kind of juicy. And then again, I want to get up in here and start cutting in here. I don't want to go below the diaphragm, so just kind of open and just look for your diaphragm. Mine's going to be hard because there's a lot of fluid in there. Okay, but now I can see the dome-shaped diaphragm. Okay. And I can see bits of the pleura. This is parietal pleura. I'm pulling it away from the wall. Okay. And the heart is got a lot of fat around it, you see. And it also has a nice sac around it. The pericardial sac is there as well. This is a pretty juicy one. Okay. So I can go ahead and just kind of rip the pleura away because I want to get into the very back. And actually get down now into where the ribs are, and I want to get up close and cut those. So if you can get this far, then let's go ahead and get that going and get the ribs cracked open. I'm going to have to clean up mine to go a little bit